All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Boxing Rush Hour Show, FightsATW.com, fights around the world. I have a special guest today. He is the CEO of Manny Pacquiao Promotions, MPP. Jas Mathur, how you doing?
Great, thank you. How are you?
Good, good, good. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time today. I'm going to just dive right in. I saw an Instagram post on December 2025 that, you joined MPP as the CEO. Just kind of curious on how that position was presented to you and the thought process behind accepting such a position.
A lot of things it's crazy how things happen in my life, to be quite honest with you. I tend to manifest, I believe in manifesting things. I believe in working hard and staying committed and dedicated. I have a certain skill set and a talent, and I obviously don't ever give up. I'm a deal guy. I know how to put deals together. I don't, something comes in front of me, I'll close it one way or another. I'll find a way. I'll move the pieces around. Manny and I, we started off for one thing, it evolved into more, and ultimately it evolved into him saying, "Look, I want you to be a partner with me in this and be the lead on this project and be the CEO of Manny Pacquiao Promotions, take care of all the stuff in US and Canada." It just happened, and it happened because I have a complementary skill set to what he has. I have a complementary skill set to all of the other people in the Manny Pacquiao team that help and assist and that are involved with us. We are, the idea for me is just to help everyone achieve more and get us to the finish line and also maximize the opportunities out of any deal that is presented for Manny.
All right. And was there something that you might have learned right away that maybe you didn't anticipate once you sat in the seat?
No, I mean, listen, every getting into any organization or being a part, you look at Manny as a brand, right? I mean, you of a global brand like Manny, right? You're obviously going to have a lot of things to deal with, right? There's nothing is ever perfect in life. So there's nothing that took out for the
I lost you there for a second. It froze up.
challenging.
Hello. Yeah, it keeps freezing up.
Frozen.
Yeah, yeah. Now, let me see it.
Good?
Yeah, yeah, we're good now.
Okay, cool.
I'm sorry about
Cool.
that.
So no worries, no worries. So basically, when it comes to this with in other groups, right? So I've worked with a lot of celebrities and athletes and behind the scenes with some of them to help negotiate deals and transactions and things like that. And it's never an easy process. But with many, thankfully, it hasn't been painful. One goal, right? Everyone is focused on one goal, and that is, maximizing the opportunities and delivering the best possible result for Manny.
Okay. All right. Now let's talk about this card you got on Saturday, February 28th, Turning Stone Resort Casino. It's going to be live on, I know the press release said Prime Video. I've seen it advertised on DirecTV on pay-per-view. Headlined by Elijah Pierce versus Lorenzo Parra for the WBO international title, but more importantly, to be maybe at the doorstep for a title shot against Rafael Espinoza. And then you have a Manny Jimwell or Himwell Pacquiao Jr., Carmel Moulton on the card. Kind of talk to us about this card on Saturday and why people should tune in.
I think it's really what we're doing with Manny Pacquiao Promotions is building up the younger fighters, right? Of course, you have, Manny's son, and then you have Carmel from Floyd's side, right? I mean, they're great fighters. So our goal is just to build, is to put on good shows. Obviously, fighters need fights, right? So that's our goal, is to put on more shows, get these fighters more fights, and have excitement, help them build their records, and grow from there. I mean, it's always exciting. You want to watch the guys when they're young, because these are going to be your next superstars. 10 years from today, they're the ones that you're going to be seeing fill up 20,000, 20 to 50,000 seat arenas.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. And I
True
guess,
boxing fans, fight fans, boxing fans, they like to watch everything. They're
yeah,
not just watching one show a month or one show every 2 months because of the name. They like to watch all the guys because they love the sport. They love the art. And that's what it is, right? The younger guys will showcase the art, which you may not get with more mainstream guys today. They're
yeah,
hungry.
yeah, no, for sure, for sure. Now, my question is, because this has been a hot topic in boxing,
Yes.
is the pay-per-view side of it, right?
Yes.
And the need to put these shows on pay-per-view, which some may feel that it reduces the visibility of the show, because the way the economy is right now. So,
Right.
can you talk about why going the pay-per-view route with these shows?
I mean, one of the reasons why we picked Netflix for the big fight and how we got that to the finish line is because we're in a streaming era. So I firmly believe in the streaming era over pay-per-view. Pay-per-view is, even today, pay-per-views are done on streaming platforms, more or less. I mean, if you watch, let's use hypothetically like a PBC pay-per-view, it's also available on Amazon, right? But you still have to buy it, but it's also available on Amazon. Now, that's a traditional business model. That's never going to die. That's always going to be there. But and that's also that's great. That has its own benefits. It has its own perks. But this is, in my opinion, like, you look at the zone, they'll give you an option: buy an annual subscription or pay for one fight. When you look at the numbers, it makes no sense to pay for one fight. It makes much more sense to buy the annual subscription, right? Same thing for like the ESPN app. Same thing for all these other major apps, right? So streaming is the way to go, and streaming is, in my opinion, where everything should turn into. But of course, like, there's so many promoters, there's so many companies, and everybody has a right to do what they want to do, right? Some you win, some you don't win. It's a trade-off.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, but I guess for a show that is just a little bit lower than some of the bigger names of the sport, wouldn't it reduce the potential of visibility amongst the fans if it's behind a pay-per-view rather than just being offered as part of a stream with the company?
It would, but you would have to have access to a network, right? So
Yeah,
not everybody has access to doing a deal with Netflix, and then Netflix is not going to give you a blanket deal that, hey, stream every fight with us until the end of time. They like to
yeah,
go on a per fight basis, right? So when we talk about streaming platforms, which is the one that has the largest viewership? It's Netflix, right?
yeah.
The Zone has also, but then the Zone also would, they would have to buy in. They would have to pay for, to be the network partner, right? So not in some of these other promoters, they can't put on as many fights as what the network would want, or the network already has deals in place and they're exhausted at the moment, so they don't have room for more. So it's not that the promoters that are doing pay-per-view don't want to have a network deal. It's that they're probably not in a position right now to get a network deal,
Gotcha.
like
All right.
a streaming network deal.
Yeah, yeah, no, no, I get you. I got it.
Like, you can get a streaming network deal, but if the network doesn't have subscribers, and that, sorry, let me rephrase. If the network doesn't have active subscribers, and out of those active subscribers, it doesn't have a high concentration of boxing fans, that their statistics that these fans are watching boxing for the last 2, 3, 5 years, then it doesn't make sense,
Mm,
right? Then you're putting on a fight with no audience. So again, it's both models, right? It's like automatic cars and manual. They're gonna be there. Electric cars and gas cars, right? It's totally different model.
gotcha. No, no, that makes sense. All right. MPP is moving quickly. November they had a show. Now February show two. What's the plan for MPP this year, and maybe what are some of the milestones you would like to hit?
So yeah, absolutely. So we're looking to grow MPP slowly, right? Slow and steady always wins the race. Obviously, MPP is the lead promoter on Mayweather-Pacquiao too, right? It's the lead promoter there. But we're also looking to go slow and steady. We don't want to rush. We're not trying to build, the build everything overnight. That's not our plan. Our goal is to put on smaller events and build slow and steady, and eventually, after a year and a half, get to hit certain milestones. My personal goal, which we're going to hit also this year, is I have two goals, right? One of them is bring it to Canada. So we're going to do our first show in Montreal, Quebec, and I'm planning that for Q4 this year. Okay, that's my hometown. That's where I'm from originally, and from there we'll get Toronto. We'll do Vancouver. All of this. Then second, my goal in the US is to do a show inside MSG, not in the theater, but the actual garden, right? Now, that's obviously a much different type of show, higher budget, different. So we're going slow and steady, want to get our feet wet, understand everything, learn properly, iron out all the kinks first. And obviously with this fight that's there now, it's going to allow us to accelerate and get those things done. So we have Turning Stone coming up now. In April, we're going back to Pachanga. They loved us the first time. They loved having Manny there. They want Manny there again. Then in May, we're working on Hawaii at the moment. And who knows? I mean, there's definitely going to be a few more, but you can expect at least another 4 more shows from MPP outside of the big fight and outside of Turning Stone for this year. Minimum 4.
Yeah, I love Pachanga too. It's 15 minutes from my house.
Yeah. Well, we'll be back there in April.
Yep. All right. This whole thing, I know you spoke to ESPN about the
Yes.
Pacquiao exhibition in April. You told them it wasn't done yet. Press releases had gone out. Like, how did this get all kind of miscommunicated?
I mean, it's not miscommunicated. I think that again, it's certain deals were put together before I came in,
Okay.
and certain deals, yeah. So it's there's no miscommunication. It's just sometimes the parties can go, and party A is not aware of what party B is doing, such as let's say in that exhibition deal, and the contract from the contracts between the parties, and party B decides to go out and do a release without knowing what's truly going on behind the scenes with party A, and it leads to what it is. So my stance stands that this fight is not official yet. It's yeah. So the I'm not saying again that it's not going to happen, but I'm saying as of right now, it's not official. And we're working through different opportunities. We're accepting different opportunities. We want Manny to have an exhibition, so he stays active, and yeah, and sometimes things just start making their own waves, but it doesn't mean that everything you read on the internet is true.
That's a fact. All right, now we have the big one. This is my last question. Yeah, the big one,
Right.
September 19th,
Yes.
Mayweather-Pacquiao Tour, Sphere, Las Vegas. Um, Curious on how this conversation was initiated. Was Netflix always going to be the destination? What kind of feedback you've gotten so far? And then I know there's like a bunch of questions in one. And what are some names that could potentially be part of the undercard? Because that's been part
So.
of the interest from fans as well.
Yep, yep. So the fight has been phenomenal. Okay, the fight has been ever since it got announced. The word, people talking about it, my phone ringing off the hook, seeing it spread all over the internet. Of course, we knew that this would happen, right? We expected this. We expected to break the internet in the sports sector, which we did, and we will continue to do for the next 7 months, right? As far as the undercard goes, we're looking to build a meaningful undercard. We want generational storytelling, we want legends, and we want rising stars, right? We've got the legends with Floyd and Manny. Now we want rising stars, which brings me back to Turning Stone. Our Turning Stone, there's Carmel Moulton and there's Jimmy O, right? So we definitely want participation from both. the undercard's going to be structured by Manny and by Floyd, right? They want their respective guys on the undercard. So we haven't touched that point yet, but for sure it's going to be rising stars. And as far as Netflix, yes, if we're not talking about the last 10 years of everyone trying to get this deal done, right? Which, in my opinion, that doesn't count. If we're talking specifically about this, yes, Netflix is part of the discussion from day one. And one of the reasons why this closed and we were able to get it across the finish line is because it's Netflix. It's because of the 325 plus million subscriber base. It's because all the other ancillary things that come around with it, the other visibility, additional visibility you get being on Netflix. And it's also because you could sleep at night knowing that you're dealing with a company that has the money in the bank, that is going to be able to pay for the purse, that is going to be able to pay for the marketing, that has a structure, that's not going to go look for money tomorrow from an investor, get a deposit, and not have the money in between to give the milestones or closing money. In the end, you're dealing with a Fortune 100 company with structure, and that has given everyone reassurance to say, all right, let's get this done. And of course, these guys, they know they can put a dent in it again. They did it in pay-per-view. They have an opportunity to do it over here in streaming.
Yeah. Well, listen, Jazz, I thank you for your time. I want to wish you the best of luck on Saturday's show
Thank you.
and all the other subsequent shows for the rest of the year with MPP.
Excellent. Thank you. Great talking to you. See
Thank
you.
you.